Welcome to Pod TV. I am Duststorm, doing a video analysis for the multiplayer trailer for Halo Reach Beta that is coming out in May, that was released from Bungie earlier this week. Just going to go through this clip by clip, picking out the new things, so let's get started. In the second clip of this video, we have an animation of a red Spartan meleeing a black Spartan, where it seems like the melee animation is not limited to assassinations. We have elites jumping and rolling for a loadout that I believe is specific to elites only, and there will be another clip where I will point out what the loadout icon looks like. Here we have the loadouts screen, we have the jetpack, we have the cloaking, and we have the sprint. This clip is showing King of the Hill with a new hill and new icon for the hill. We have an on-HUD callout system, as you can see down here by the radar, the spillway, which is probably the location on the map. So we have integrated callouts now instead of having to develop our own. You can also see at the end of this clip a new medal, First Strike, where it's probably the first kill of the game, probably not game type dependent. We also have some jetpack action going on. And in this clip, also we have our fifth loadout, where the guy's about to get run over by a ghost. He activates this shield that looks like a shield with the lock on it. It's like he's basically invincible for a given amount of time that his shield's active. We can also see hold X to board enemy ghost. We definitely have X as the main action button instead of right bumper as we had it for Halo 3. In this next clip, we have a few things to point out. We have elevation in the radar now. You can tell where the two dots that are currently right by him, one looks elevated with a shadow underneath it, and then one looks like it's below the person, where the shadow's on top and the red dot has been pushed into the radar, which kind of gives a 3D effect of the radar, telling you where in elevation the enemies or your teammates are in comparison to you. We also have two medals, a headshot for the pistol, and we have a new medal, pull, which looks like the jetpack icon with the skull over it, killing someone with the jetpack while they're in the air. Right here we have a grav lift, someone made to point that out, and we have an example of the sprint being used, and you can tell where the sprint is being used up with the dial around the icon, and the icon is a diamond with a lightning bolt. You can see some rockets, and here's the cloaking. It's a triangle with an eye. You can also see it being used up there. And we also have something in the sniper scope that you can't see in any of the other ones, or that I didn't see, is ID Noble 6, which may mean you can choose characters just like you could for Halo 3 ODST's Firefight. And of course we have assassinations, which looks like if one person goes to assassinate another, that both people will fly out into the 3D animation like we see here. We can see that we have a max of 4 grenades with 2 grenades instead of the 4 that we had in Halo 3, going back to the Halo 1 style of just frags and plasmas. And we also have the loadout icon for the jump and roll animation that the elites do, which is the oval with the 2 arrows. And right here we have a clip with the sword where it looks like it's powering up while it's in midair, pulling from the original trailer that was released at the VGA Awards, which is interesting to see that transition into multiplayer. Next clip we get a very brief glance at the Needler rifle, and we see a drop ship. Drivable or not, probably I'm going to say no. I'm going to guess it's more like an elephant, maybe for spawn points or an initial spawn of a game, or possibly for a firefight type style game type. Right here we have Invasion, where we have the 3 primary Covenant vehicles from Halo 1. We have the Banshee, we have the Ghost, and the Wraith, which Invasion also seems like elites versus Spartans. We have a nice clip right here of a headshot, guy getting owned. We have some kind of icon, not sure what game type that would be in, possibly Invasion. This next clip we have a new weapon. Looks like it charges up and locks on, similar to how the rocket launcher worked in Halo 2. First I thought it was kind of like a fuel rod, but it looks like it's kind of tracking stickies, at least with how the projectiles look. and a few people have identified it as the mystery weapon from the sound that we got on Bungie.net. And we have the Warthog exploding, we have an example of the elite jumping, and we have Headhunters, which is a new game type. It looks like you get skulls from getting headshots, and you possibly go around collecting skulls, for example in this clip. We have a guy jumping up with a jetpack who gets headshot by this guy with a DMR, and he drops 9 skulls. As you saw, he had the number 8 above him, which means he had probably had 8 kills, and the guy shot him to get an additional skull, so he dropped his 8 and dropped another one for the kill. And there's 2 waypoints on the heads-up display which could indicate a deposit point for the skulls to score for the game type. Active roster screams out clan support, which would be a nice addition to the game like it was in Halo 2. We have sniper action going on right here, and a shot of the health bar where you can see we have actual health. Going back to Halo 1 again. Looking at the radar at this point, it looks like the radar jammer is back. We have what looks like territories. We have the new grenade launcher weapon. And here we have Spartans versus Elites, which could be just an alternate game mode where one team is completely Spartans and one is completely Elites, or maybe it could be firefight type, where you're fighting waves of Elites, as you can have 16 players as Spartans and then fight Elites as in firefight was for ODST. And here we have another game type involving generators, where it looks like the Elites are invading, trying to kill off all the generators. As you can see with this one, the Elite shooting the generator with a rocket, and on the bottom right you can see that it gets destroyed and disappears. We have more vehicle action. We have Arena, which is probably FFA or Spartan on Spartan. We have a new weapon here that seems like a beam rifle or a prototype Spartan laser. In this next one we see 2x scoped pistol with a revenge medal, adding to more medals for the game. We have a gravity hammer clip followed by a sword clip, and then we have the last clip coming out on May 3rd. So thanks for watching this analysis, and this has been Pod TV.